Warning. The following program contains strong language and subject matter which may be offensive to some viewers and/or inappropriate for children. The content within this program is intended for mature audiences only.
Well, hello everyone, and welcome to Inside the Drag Closet, the interactive vodcast where we talk about all things drag and some things that aren't. Who knows? We're really just here to have a good time. And a good time we are going to have this evening. We are so excited this evening. All the way from Philadelphia, we will be joined by the one and only Bev this evening. If you have not seen Bev before, you need to check her out. She's an incredible performer. I've been a fan of hers for years, so I'm super excited to sit and kiki with her this evening. My beautiful sister Amethyst is in. She literally just got done with a gig, and she is going to be joining me in just a minute. But before I get too far into things, I think it's time for a little who, what, where about me. Who am I? My name is Jade DeVere. I am a drag artist based out of the Harrisburg area of Pennsylvania. I love the art of drag because it allows me to live my Goldilocks fantasy. What am I wearing? I am wearing a beautiful Bear Pride muumuu that I got on Amazon. I really, like, over the last few months, I've been joking that I am in my Goldilocks era. I have been more or less adopted by many of the bears of Harrisburg lately, and they have been wonderful. I wanted to do an entire Bear Pride look this evening. I actually got out some of my Lady Viola hair because I don't have a lot of blonde, ironically. So I was like, this is blonde. It works. My eyes are Morphe this evening. My makeup is Wet and Wild. My lips are the Lip Bar. My jewelry is, of course, Rocks by Cox. My nail is Sally Hansen. And the flag is the Bear Pride flag. Where can you find me? Well, you can find me every other Wednesday right here on Inside the Drag Closet. Although, super special thing, we will actually be having an episode next week before we take a week off. And there are reasons for that I will talk about later. You can also find me this Friday down at the Lodge in Maryland. I'm going to be doing the First Lady and the Tramp show with Ashley Banks. Laura Boucher is not going to be there that evening. She does have something else going on. So in her place, we will have a former Miss Gay America, Tatiana Voce, taking her place. We will also have Jasmine Blue and Kit Valentine joining us. So that's going to be a ridiculous show. I'm super excited to work with all of them. It's going to be a party. You can also find me all over the place in the Pennsylvania area, down in Rehoboth. I'll be in New Jersey for a month or so. But before I do all of that, I want to see who has checked in this evening. Vicky, hello, darling. Oh, you changed your name. You were Mother Hen. Fantastic. Good to see you. Evelyn Phantasma watching this evening. This look is just right. I feel right this evening. I feel fun. I feel playful. I feel vibrant. I'm actually wearing boobs tonight. You know, I don't usually do that on the show sometimes, but you know, tonight's a titty night. Treat yourself to some titty. I don't know what is going on in my brain. It's going to be a wild one. Buckle up, everybody. But while we are looking at that, I want to send a huge shout out to our Patreons: Jess, Lori, Corey, Brian, Jeremy, Josh, Chanel, Daniel, Robin, Vicky, and Emily. Thank you so much for supporting us. If you would like to be a Patreon as well, you could go to www.patreon.com/InsideTheDragCloset. Amethyst and I are always posting wonderful snippets that are Patreon exclusive. And we do our after show called Pearls of Wisdom as soon as every episode is over. So if you wanted to catch that, it's just bits of wisdom from myself and Amethyst. We talk about all sorts of topics, usually uplifting ones, because if you've never been to a show where Amethyst is just on a roll making people feel good about themselves, that is your time to do that because it is a privilege to get to watch that. We have a couple other people tuning in this evening. Tatiana just got here. Hello, darlings. Hello, sweetheart. Karen Gilhooly. Hello, dearest. That's my ex-girlfriend, everybody. That's right, girlfriend from high school. Gee, we didn't know this was going to be my path, did we? Jess is watching. Hello, darling. Hope you are doing well. Mitchell, great to see you. Devere, good to see you too. It's almost like I just saw you. Weird. Tony, hello, beautiful. How are you? It's always good to see you tuning in. Oh, and Sanika, my beautiful niece. Hello, darling. Speaking of Sanika, I think it is time for me to bring out her mother. So, everybody, let's welcome to Inside the Drag Closet the beautiful and talented Amethyst Diamond.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, she's having that glamour thought.
Yes, 'tis time.
Indeed. I love a glamour headache. That glamour
Oh,
headache is my favorite. Oh, show off the jewelry. Oh. How are you, baby?
tired as hell. Tired as hell, but I am beautiful. I am in teal, tantalizing in teal. Just got home from a previous gig here in York, PA, but I'm doing all right. Happy, successful, blessed, things.
Nice. Let's talk about your gig a little bit because that is incredible.
Okay, yeah. So here in York, if you were ever at the Cantina, I did brunches there for about 4 years. They are now under new ownership. They are now called Alleys. They reached out to me. They wanted to host a weekly queer happy hour. Every Wednesday, with the last Wednesday of every month being a drag show. So we kicked off the event last Wednesday with our drag show. It was featuring Alize La Diamond. It was also featuring Sybil Stackhouse as well as Icy Hottie. And now this was the first queer happy hour. It is every single Wednesday from 5 to 7 p.m., half off beer and well drinks, food specials, $5 margaritas all night. So it is a new safe space for the queer community and our allies to have a place to go. The mid work week got you down. Come see us here in York at work Wednesdays, every Wednesday at Alley's. So yeah, that's why I'm
That's
in full drag,
incredible.
girl. I've never been in this much drag for this podcast in my life.
She came home and she had to take some of it off. It was too much.
Seriously, I had to take the lower half off. Y'all ain't seeing that. You know what I mean? I'm in sweatpants and comfortable, just hanging out, so to speak. Just hanging out. Thank
Speaking
you,
of
thank
hanging
you,
out,
Jesus.
girl, give
Thank
them
you,
a little
Jesus.
who, what, where about you.
Absolutely. Hello, everybody. Good evening. Welcome. Hello, good evening, good night. It is Wednesday. That means it is time for Inside the Drag Closet. I think this is episode 161 or something like that. We are almost to our 5-year anniversary next month. We will be coming to you next Wednesday as well. We're not taking 2 weeks off. We're coming back next Wednesday, skipping a Wednesday, and then coming back for our finale. What is it? I guess that's the last Wednesday or the Wednesday before. Anyway, my name is Amethyst Diamond. I have been doing this for longer than I care to admit. And you can find me everywhere American Express, Visa, Discover are accepted. What else? You can find me on social media under Amethyst Diamond on Facebook. You can find me on Instagram at Amethyst_Diamond1. What am I wearing tonight? That's a good question. This wig was made by former Miss Continental, Sunny Delight. The earrings are by my good sister and friend, Johnny Ma. That's Mia Ho. The frock is from a very, very, very couture fashion line known as Fashion Nova. And this ring right here is by Rocks by Hawks. Thank you. Chardonnay brought to you by Barefoot. Okay.
And that was contestant number one in the talent category, Amethyst Diamond.
Mm-mm. Meow.
Girl, I don't like I don't even want to kiki with just you and me. I just want to dive right into introducing our guest.
I am so excited to have her, and the fact that she agreed to do this. She's very expensive, very, very expensive girl. She's hard to lock down. She's made it in life. She is a huge success, not only in Philly, but in Rehoboth as well. You cannot help but laugh when you are around her. She brings some of the funniest characters to life, and I'm sure we will get into all that. Are we bringing her in? Is this happening?
Go for it, girl.
Okay, ladies, gentlemen, judges, all you hoes out there, put your hands together and get your Venmo ready for the one and only Philly's very own comedy queen, Bev.
Oh my God, lights, cameras, me without a stitch of makeup on. Hi.
Not a stitch.
Hello.
Not a single
Right
stitch.
here in my boudoir, here in my luxe penthouse apartment in the sky, here in the metropolitan hamlet of Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Hello.
I love all your long neck styrofoams back there.
My long ones I keep on long neck wig heads so that they don't.
Absolutely. Three horns don't talk to long necks. I learned that from Land Before Time.
Not I'm old enough to get that reference. That's good.
Exactly. But are you wearing shoes?
I am wearing bedroom slippers.
Nice. It counts. All drag is valid.
All drag is valid.
I haven't
Bev will not book
done inside my home drag since the fucking quarantine. This is incredible. Was having PTSD getting ready for this. It's been fun.
Right. And you were so good with that too, during the pandemic and everything. You really took to social media and you used that to boost your platform and get yourself out there.
Who wants to watch me watch Drag Race? Tune into Facebook Live on Fridays to watch me watch the show.
But it was funny.
It's a wild.
It was funny.
Very true. Well, Bev, why don't you give everybody a little who, what, where about you?
Sure. Who am I? Well, my name is Bev. I'm just a young, fresh off the bus kind of girl. No, I'm a lady of a certain age here in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. What am I wearing? I'm calling it, I don't know if anyone watched the show Palm Royale on Apple TV last year, but this is my Evelyn Rollins, Allison Janney homage. I'm wearing a caftan that was made by Thatchwork, which is Delta Works' husband. I'm going to name drop a lot of names right now. The wig was actually made by James Mansfield from Drag Race. The jewelry is all a very exclusive jewelry store in the Garment District in New York City where you can get stuff for wholesale. You don't have to pay the full price if you have a tax ID. So, I take full advantage of that because I am a business lady. And where can you find me? You can find me all up and down the East Coast. I'm on Instagram. Actually, I'm on all socials at It's Bev Bitch, like Brittany, but elderly, ITSBEVBITCH. That's my Instagram. My TikTok, because I'm very young and hip and with the kids. That's also my Venmo, if you're feeling so motivated to tip an elderly woman who's sitting in her drag room on the internet right now.
I love it. I love it.
And what am I drinking? I'm drinking a lovely Surfside canned iced tea.
Nice.
Brought to you by Surfside.
And I'm not wearing nails because I don't do that.
Valid.
This is the first time I have ever had nails on.
For me is a painted nail, and I just didn't get that done tonight. So
that's it.
I'll put on nails for a pageant, but I don't want to do pageants. So,
what did you say, Amethyst? You like my makeup?
I love your makeup.
Thank you. I'm trying to do a little bit softer than I've done. I started trying to do more quote unquote illusions that recently I've been doing Dolly lately, and I've been doing more do like a funny Celine. Now I'm trying to do like more legit, or at least like parody Titanic Celine.
Sure.
He knows that reference. So I've tried to start doing a softer for within my skill set kind of look. So that's what we're
I think this is great. I love this.
Not just the stamps that I normally just stamp it on.
Hey, but you make it work for your aesthetic, and I think that's fantastic. But yeah, tonight I really enjoy the paint tonight.
getting. Like you're clearly gonna get. I'm not here to do Ariana Grande and Death Drops. That's not what you're getting. And I think this kind of clues you into that. So,
Right. And that's so important for like all drag artists to realize, the depth of their potential, their aesthetic, what they're good at, and go with it. And you definitely know how to market yourself. Like you have gowns with your Venmo printed on them. You know what I mean? So you definitely know you have a brand, and everybody recognizes and knows your brand. So I applaud you for that. That's you're very creative when it comes to that.
go on.
No, I'm done.
If anybody out there has any questions for us, make sure you type them into the chat and we will get to all of your questions this evening. But I just had a fun question pop into my head a little while ago, and this one is for Bev. You are so well known for your comedy. What makes you laugh?
The thing that makes me laugh, at least as far as drag goes, as I love a combination. I always say this when I'm judging something. I love a combination of smart and stupid. Like I love a queen that's smart enough to make something that is not afraid to be stupid, but is also like conceptual. Like that's like my sweet spot of something that's it's either a niche reference or it's just something that's not just, don't want to step on anyone's toes, but I love when you go to like a comedy brunch and it's like, oh good, they're doing Wendy Ho. That's sometimes what people's idea of comedy is. So that's what I love. As far as what makes me laugh in general, I love a ballsy lady. I grew up in the designing women, ballsy, brash, Elaine Stritch, Patti LuPone. Patti LuPone,
Yes.
recently, I'm trying to figure out a mix to put. Patti LuPone was on the GLAAD Awards and like recited lines from Drag Race in her.
It was so good.
Yes,
It's so
yes,
good.
I saw that.
She's like, don't be afraid to fall down, get up, look sickening, and make them eat it. Latrice Royale, like as Patti LuPone doing Latrice Royale, it's incredible. So that's what makes me laugh.
I love that.
God, girl,
I have a
get
Patti
a grip.
LuPone wig sitting right there.
Yes.
Patty Petunia.
All right. Nobody has any questions, really. We got the Rehoboth Brigade. The Bev Brigade is here this evening.
That's Tatiana. She's the president of my fan club. Oh, Tammy's here too.
Tammy's
yes,
here
in the house.
Yep.
You'll find
indeed.
Tammy, Billy,
Yari.
Tatiana, all in the front row of all the shows.
Absolutely, you sure will. You absolutely will.
No,
Tatiana was just at the brunch.
Watching.
Yep.
Hi, Yari. We love you so much. I love you so much. I miss the hell out of you. I miss her so much.
Oh, there's Billy.
Yes,
there he is. Hey, Billy.
Billy is Tammy's son. They're the first ones at the drag show, so they get the good seats. Lynn's here too. Yes, I love it. What's the line from? Have you ever seen the movie Sordid Lives?
Yes.
Oh, it's been a while.
With
so
Leslie Jordan, when he's like, my fans, they're crazy, but they're loyal. There you go.
That describes, and I don't want to shoot down anybody, but that does describe a lot of drag fans.
Crazy but loyal.
Hey,
yeah.
If you're willing to spend, especially nowadays in this economy and this hellscape that we live in, if you're willing to spend your limited amount of income to come watch us be assholes for an hour and a half on stage and make you laugh, that's my kind of people. That's my kind of people.
I guess I'm living the dream.
Right?
Somebody's dream. You're living somebody's dream.
Everybody's.
And I think that's the joy that is drag. Drag performers who
Absolutely.
take themselves so seriously, you can see right through that. But those who enjoy it and embrace it and keep having fun with it, that's the performers you want to keep watching.
Yes. Absolutely. Yeah, you really
there's
you have to be a
longevity in
little
that.
mad. Absolutely. You have to be a little bit crazy to love this industry. Like it's a lot and very political, you know what I mean? So there's always something coming our way for us to defend or stand up for or protect or have a voice about, which is wonderful. Like it's I'm super glad to be a drag artist in the queer community because like I feel a sense of responsibility, not only being a person of color, but also, you know, a drag artist. I'm like, you know, I'm a superhero for my community. So this is what I need to do. This is my passion. This is what it's meant for.
Mhm.
So, yeah.
One of
Superhero.
Me
one
too.
of the
And the person of color part.
Very colored.
This is color.
Did
one
she
of the
say
first
colored?
one of the first looks that ever caught my attention of yours, Bev, was and I'm looking for it right now,
Oh
the
God.
God Loves Bev look.
Oh God.
It
Yeah.
was wasn't that the posters the Westboro Baptist Church was using?
That was because you were saying earlier backstage you were going to talk about how the first time we met. I think the first time we met was at Stallions when I competed for Miss Comedy Queen.
Northeast
Yeah.
Comedy Queen.
Northeast Comedy Queen the first time. Yes, that was my outrageous evening gown. Was a takeoff of the Westboro Baptist Church. God hates F slurs signs. It was the orange, yellow, green, and it said "God loves Bev."
Was that
Oh,
the year that Mimi competed?
yes.
Uh-huh.
Uh-huh.
I was either judging or I was there because I remember that.
So the story with that is that she a girl from Pittsburgh, Kitty Klotz-a-lot, won first place.
So good.
Mimi
Mhm.
won second place, and then I won third place. Third place never. Normally, the top two, like any other like every other pageant system, the winner and the first alternate go to the nationals.
Yeah.
Second alternate, third place is just like, thanks for your time. But like the owners actually were there that night and asked me. They were like, "You actually like this was really close. You have a really fresh take. We would love to have you compete at nationals. If you're interested, we're happy to have you come as a wild card." And I was like, I didn't really have like the best experience. It was my first time. I was like, thank you, no thank you. I'd like to take some time to hone my skills and come back next year.
Sure.
Well, Mimi got butthurt that she didn't win and was like, I'm not going. So she dropped out. So then I got bumped up to first alternate and had to go. So yeah, which ended up I ended up enjoying it and competing for the following 3 years. But yes, that was the first time. And yes, Mimi was expecting to just walk away with the win, and when she didn't, she got butthurt and dropped out.
Uh-huh.
Aw.
Which I know
Was
is
that
very surprising for everyone to hear.
Was that the year that your evening gown was the slug from Monsters Inc?
No, that was a year or two afterwards.
Okay.
Yeah. My
So
evening
good.
gown for nationals the first year was like a minion overall
Yes.
dress with like
Yes. I remember that.
thing. Yeah. I was
Did
kind
you
of out of my
compete?
element. I didn't really know what to expect.
Did
The
you
girl that
compete
won that
again?
year was the former Miss Entertainer of the Year. So I mean,
Oh, really?
deranged. So
Ah, yes. Were you there when the pageant was at Taboo?
that was the year that I ran from Northeast Comedy Queen again the following year and won.
Okay.
And then
Oh, that was your step down then.
I had my give up when it was
That was
at
your give up.
Eye Candy.
Eye
which is
candy.
what
Yes.
Taboo was the space.
Because
Taboo was at another building up the street that got bought and was
that's right.
make
I
condos.
judged that year.
Yes.
Same.
That was the year Pola Frost won. So I was
Mhm.
there to do my give up.
She came out as a giant vagina.
She did come out of that vagina. Yep. That
Biggest
was
one I
the
ever saw.
year- That was the year. One of my many numbers that I can never do again because times have changed.
Oh, yeah.
No.
First decided to have my give up be straight out of the movie Drop Dead Gorgeous, and I came out in a wheelchair and lip synced to Melissa Manchester "Don't Cry Out Loud." like the queen, like the anorexic girl giving up her crown in Drop Dead Gorgeous, while my friend Vicky dressed in scrubs and pushed me around like an orderly. Times are different. I can't do that.
I remember watching that whole moment, standing in the back of the audience going, what an asshole. This is amazing.
This is the only time I'm ever going to have a give up like this. Why not? Let me live my Mary Johansson Miss American Mount Rose American Teen Princess pageant fantasy.
Didn't Callie Couture compete that day too?
I don't honestly remember.
I think she came out as a pony, a My Little Pony.
Yep. It was Polo versus Callie.
A lot, so details are fuzzy. So,
you know,
valid.
I'm surprised.
Yeah.
So we just got a bomb of questions here, and this is a fun one. Vicky just sent, and we'll let Bev answer these first. What are your drag mothers' names? How did you three meet your drag mothers? And have you only had one drag mother or more?
Okay, I have answers. Good. Okay, go.
Yep. Bev, you may start.
Oh, me first? I'm probably not the best person to answer this question first. So this is going to be a controversial take. I'm going to be controversial yet brave. I don't personally believe in or subscribe to the drag mother, drag daughter belief system. That is, I can understand like a need for that for some people that may not have been turned away by their biological family, or they don't have biological family, or that they need that, they have that need for that familial relationship.
Sure.
I personally started drag just on my own, and I've gotten advice from people over the time, but I've witnessed so many times to both sides of the drag mother, drag child coin, where I've seen a younger baby queen, for lack of a better term, get someone more established's drag name tacked on to the end of their name, and suddenly they think they're the shit and they don't need to pay the dues because they're so-and-so's daughter. And it's like, you're not her. Like, she might give you gigs, but I don't, like, you're still new. You need to, like, and then on the opposite end of the coin, I've seen many times a very talented newcomer do an open call show, and the three established drag queens in the back are like fighting each other to collect them like Pokemon, and suddenly slap their name on the back of this promising new girl. It's like, no, she's new. Like, you can help her, but you don't need to fucking slap your name on the back of her and let her make her own decisions. We're all adults here. You can certainly, I don't subscribe to like, well, my mother said I have to wear this. I'm sorry. We're in a 21 plus establishment. You're an adult. You don't have to wear what some other person told you to wear. So
right.
I don't have a drag mother. I don't have any drag children. I ovulate sand. I don't.
Real gritty. She's real gritty.
To quote Margaret Cho, I ovulate sand. So I don't have any drag children. I don't have any drag parents. I have what I would call like my friends or my sisters, but I'm not in like a house or anything like that.
Sure.
I love that, actually.
Sure.
Hey, Amethyst, what's your drag mother's name?
Some
bitch.
My drag mother is Poison. She has been my drag mother since February 21st of 2001. We'll touch base on that. She is not my first drag mother. My first drag mother I found in 1999 when I first started doing drag at the Washington Academy of Arts in Southeast DC. Her name was Dominique. We just lost contact. I was 19, so I wasn't able to get into bars or anything like that. So our relationship was few and far between as far as being in person. So we just lost contact, unfortunately. But I celebrated my 21st birthday at Stallions in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, now Karma. I turned 21. It was a Wednesday, February 21st, 2001. So that evening, they were hosting a benefit show for AIDS Community Alliance, and they were doing a raffle to where whoever wins the raffle gets the cash, but they also got to smash a whipped cream pie into a drag queen's face. And the winner and the queen selected happened to be Poison. Well, the queen selected was Poison, and she came out in this emerald green satin robe, hair up in a ponytail, and she came out and she said, "You're not getting my lashes." And she pulled her lashes off and she just bent forward and said, "Hit me," and smack. And I said, "I want her to be my drag mother," and she has been my drag mother for 24 years now. Which is awesome. So, did I meet all the requirements? Drag mother's name? How did I meet her? Okay, check.
Nice.
And we still perform together regularly, which is great. So,
Yep.
yeah.
My drag mother is also Poison. She has been my drag mother since January of 2024. I had 2 drag mothers before her. Neither were quite the right fit for me. Both talented performers, but first one, we just didn't mesh. Second one, we got along great, but I had to move on. And I thought I didn't really need a drag mother, but I've always been close with Poison. And I thought, you know what? That's a family I want to be a part of. And now I am. My sister's a pain in the ass, though. So,
Oh my God, I know.
right?
Jesus
Ugh.
Christ. And I mean, I have 47 children myself, so
She has a litter.
I have a litter. People just gravitate, especially the babies. They're like, "Hi, will you be my mommy?" I'm like, piss off.
Right?
No, no.
Octomom.
Seriously, like I'm kicking around my teeth here. Jesus,
Right?
Lord.
Popping them out like a Pez dispenser.
No, I love it though. I love it though.
Bev, thank you for quoting Margaret Cho earlier. I heard it and I was like, oh, I need to watch more Margaret Cho.
I will give credit. I will give credit if I reference something.
All right. She is so fucking funny. Like, I love Margaret Cho.
Absolutely.
So, chat, where are the questions at tonight? Have we worn you all out?
A flurry of questions. Was that
that was Vicky's flurry of questions. They were all mother related.
She answered. She asked them all in the same question. I love that.
Got her shot.
That's perfectly fine.
I have a question.
Okay.
Amethyst.
No.
What is one thing you always wanted to ask Bev?
Oh, Jesus.
And it's a good thing I knew you were going to ask this, and I thought about it earlier. What do you, as a comedy queen, what do you think are requirements when it comes to owning that aesthetic and presenting it on a stage? When you see somebody who is a comedy queen, what do you expect to see from them in order for you to be like, okay?
Well, this is going to come across very judgmental. And I kind of mentioned
that's why you're here, sister.
I kind of mentioned it a little bit earlier. My definition of a comedy queen is someone who I learned very early on, and actually, as much of an asshole she was, Mimi said this to me, and I took it to heart when I first started doing drag, because a lot of the opportunities here in Philly that I got as a new performer were because of Mimi I'm First. So I will always give her the credit for that. But she said to me one time, she's like, do your funny, don't do other people's funny. So like, I have been around long enough. If I see, first of all, like, if you wanna do Fuck Me by Wendy Ho for a brunch and make money, more power to you. But like, if you're actually like doing a competition, or like if I hire you for like my Bev's Bitch Fest show or something, like, I want, like, if you're gonna do comedy, have a concept, have it be your ideas. Don't have it be something that I know that you stole from somebody on TikTok or Instagram or YouTube. People are like, you don't have anything on YouTube anymore. I was like, yeah, because my mixes literally would get stolen start to finish when I would put my numbers, like, and like, I I'm not talking about like every drag queen under the sun does the Tiffany Pollard, Gemma's blah blah blah, fat whatever monologue. I'm not saying you can't do that. Every drag queen does Debbie Jelinski from Addams Family, but what you do with that is what makes me respect you as a comedy queen, because I don't want to see what I know you saw some girl do elsewhere. Or like people will message me, it irks the shit out of me. And this is like something that I think is big within the pageant world, is that like, oh, I bought so-and-so's mix and I'm going to do it now. Or, oh, I saw so-and-so do this, so I just did a variation of that. It's like, that wasn't your idea. I did a show when I competed for Miss Comedy Queen. I did a show at the bar that was holding the prelim that I was about to give up, Miss Gulf Coast, and like one of in my opinion one of the most brilliant drag numbers ever is Detox coming out to the Mannequin song Nothing's Gonna Stop Us Now, and like she freezes when it's the men's part, and then and a queen did that. And I'm like, a queen down there, one of their house queens, just took that and did it. She's like, people here don't know that. I was like, okay, I see you.
All
That
right.
is somebody else's idea that you're making that you're making money off of. So this is a very long-winded response, but like, you earn my respect as a comedy queen. You could be busted, to me, looks do not matter. You could be busted as shit. I started off busted. I'm still like there's people out there right now that would say I'm still busted, but like I always had a concept from start to finish, and like that's kind of what I made my niche doing. Like there was always a beginning, a middle, and an end to my numbers, and that is what I look for in a good comedy number, because if you're telling a story, it's got to make sense, and you're not just doing Seven Rings by Ariana Grande and calling it a day. So that was my long response.
No, that's fabulous. And you can apply that to like any number that you do. You have to come out and you have to tell a story. You know, I don't claim to be a dancer. I am not a dancer. I'm not a death dropper or anything like that, but I prefer to be a storyteller and have stage presence. I can stand on the center of a stage and not move a muscle and still entertain an entire room. But you know, like you have to realize your strengths and your weaknesses when it comes to that. But be a storyteller. There has to be a concept. There has to be a flow to the whole thing. Otherwise, you're just going to lose people.
Have a point of view and have a perspective. Yes, you're going to do the Tiffany Pollard monologue. What are you going to do with that? What are you going to mix it into? How are you?
That we haven't seen.
How is the joke going to wind back? Like, I don't know. That's where.
I love taking a number that isn't inherently funny and finding one little quirk in it and going, oh, I could do this with it. Years ago, it was one of my proudest moments. Vitamin C had, when the Graduation album came out in the 90s, there was a song on that album called The Itch. And it was all about like that urge to just party, have a good time, to have sex. And I took that and performed it with a huge box of Vagisil.
Perfect.
I ended up scooting my crotch across the floor of Stallions like a dog with worms.
And you've had hepatitis ever since.
It's so true, you know. But I was like, that one little moment just kind of went, wait a minute, I can take this number and twist it. And I love those moments where you're just kind of thinking outside the box. I think so many performers play it too safe.
Yeah.
And you have to take a chance every once in a while.
You really do. You definitely have to take it to the next level. You know, especially with drag, your persona is already so elevated. You know, people expect the next level. They don't want to see just a bland, flat thing. Like I'm not a comedy queen one bit, but I've been in shows where I had to do comedic style numbers, and surprisingly, I found numbers that fit for me, and I thought were funny. So maybe they weren't, but I had a good time. But yeah, that's comedy is interesting. I applaud those who do that on a constant, because you really have to be next level to be successful as a comedy queen.
Like there's plenty of numbers that I think will be funny, and I have gone out and done, and it's been crickets, and I'm like,
crickets. They didn't care for that,
or they educational.
It's too niche. Like you got to be willing to take a risk and be like, okay.
Right. Or just take a
Exactly.
regular
We're gonna put
song
that
that
back on the
isn't
shelf,
funny.
or we're going to take her and we're going to edit her a little bit and tweak that and blah, 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 blah.
Right. Right. Like sometimes you have to have a Celine Dion song with goat screams in it.
That.
Now, why are you
You
coming
know,
from
like
drag so fiercely with that? How dare you?
yes, yes, yes. What is the Celine you do where you freeze?
It's all coming back to me now.
Yes,
Nice.
yes. And of course there's a rendition of WAP soundingly like Celine Dion.
I'm not,
Have-
not me. I don't do WAP.
I do.
No, not even as Celine Dion.
I was not aware of a WAP Celine Dion version.
I will send it to you. You will be in love.
Oh, great. Now I'm not going to be able to perform it with her. Awesome.
Yeah, I guess do it one more time this weekend, girl, before I send it to her.
I love that.
Jess has a question here for Bev. Where should I go in Philly to see some good drag?
Yes,
Oh
what are
my
some upcoming shows you have?
If only I would have sent flyers to.
Cue the music.
Oh, no.
Oh my God! Look. Well, you can come to my show, Bev's Bitch Fest, which is always the fourth Saturday of every month at Frankie Bradley's here in the neighborhood in Philly. April 6th is my birthday, but we're
Yes.
doing my birthday show on the 26th at Frankie Bradley's. I have Miss Jasmine Blue from DC, and then I have my friend Carrie Kerning coming down from New York
Yes.
City for that. She's one of the
Sweetheart.
funniest comedy queens I've ever worked with in my life.
Yes.
She's Nina West's drag daughter, and she's
Nice.
an
Yes.
idiot.
Yes.
And then every Saturday, look, right on time, right on schedule. Every Saturday, I am one of the 4 co-owners you see there of Big Wig Brunch, which is the only weekly
Nice.
drag queen owned and operated drag brunch here in Philadelphia. There's a lot of options, but we're the ones, we have our own LLC. We're in partnership with Live Nation to do it at the Punchline Comedy Club. It's a different show every Saturday. I'm not there every single week, but I'm there like half the time. But yeah,
That's fantastic. Congratulations. That's amazing.
If none of those work for you, if you're following me at It's Bev Bitch, I regularly post my schedule weekly and monthly, so you'll be able to see where I am.
Nice.
She has a fabulous graphic designer. Like I've complimented her on it before. I'm like, I like that.
It's postermywall.com, babe. Just go
See?
work shit. Yes, at It's Bev Bitch. Thank you.
Thank you.
We got some more questions here.
Awesome.
Vicky's full of questions. I love this. Have you checked out Luscious Massacre's videos? If not, hope you do, because she's magical. Because of Luscious, I have entered such a magical world of drag and all the dolls doing drag.
I have. Luscious has these series of videos where she goes around to Home Goods, Dollar Tree, Marshall, TJ Maxx. It reminds me a lot of, and she doesn't do them as much anymore. I used to love the Coco Peru videos where she would go around to like Target and Walgreens and Trader Joe's and like
looking for her tension tamer,
drag queen in the store. And that is someone who is like Luscious Massacre might not consider herself to be a comedy queen, but she is an incredible improvisation. Like she is incredible on the mic. Like she is very good at like, yes, and I see this, I'm gonna make fun of it. I do this, and it's consistently funny. It's very off the top of your head.
That's amazing.
No, I have watched several of her videos. I think they're hysterical.
Bev, who is one drag artist that you want to meet more than anybody else?
Oh gosh, want to meet. I've actually
like, hell with them all.
What?
She's like, to hell with them all.
No, not at all. I've actually been very, very fortunate to meet and or work with most of the ones, because I'm a lady of a certain age. I like Drag Race was around when I started. I've been doing drag for 14 years, so Drag Race was around. But like, especially like coming out of the closet in the early 2000s, I came out like the first drag queen I ever saw on a movie. Well, that's a lie. The first drag queen I ever saw in a movie was RuPaul in the Brady Bunch movie. But the first one that was actually like a drag queen was Coco Peru in the movie Trick, because that movie came out shortly after I came. And then like through Coco, I found Girls Will Be Girls, which turned me on to Varla Jean Merman.
Yes.
And from there, it was like Jackie Beat, Coco Peru, Varla Jean Merman, Dina Martina. Those are like the holy trinity, holy grail, my Mount Rushmore of drag. And like I've gotten to open for Coco. I've gotten to work with Bianca and Bob and Sherry Vine and Jackie Beat. So it's very those are the ones that I don't know. I can't think of. I actually have met Lip Synca, who inspired a lot of what I do as far as spoken word monologues.
Wow.
Got to meet her at New York Drag Con a few years ago. So yeah, I can't think of, I'm not like RuPaul, I guess. But I mean, I'm not like, she doesn't do it for me as much as the names that I've seen.
Right.
That was a really good list too.
Yeah. And
those are iconic drag artists.
It is. If I could do what Dina Martina does and have the like, it's so, talk about stupid and smart. It's so brilliant, and she sells out day after day after day every summer in P-Town. Like, oh my God, it's so good. It's so good.
I was gonna say, like, you just described the ideal P-Town lineup.
Yeah.
And like Varla Jean, and like Varla is smart because her show last year was the Errors tour, so she's appealing to like the younger Swiftie demographic. And I just saw on her Instagram like a week or two ago, her show this coming summer season is called The Drowsy Chapel Roan.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
The Drowsy Chapel Roan, and it's her in like a pink pony club outfit just being like, it's so good. It's so like that she's got her normal audience, but she's drawing in the younger ones who are like, what?
Sure. That's smart.
I need to see this. Yeah, so
that's smart. You have to evolve. You have to know how to connect with every audience. As three women of a certain age. You know.
Touch this skin. No, don't touch this.
That's right.
Don't.
Touch this skin, but please don't touch me.
Please don't touch. Please don't touch.
You look like an orangutan.
Hasn't settled yet. So.
Our beautiful friend Michelle says hi.
Hi, baby. Oh my goodness. Hi, sweetheart. Oh, I miss her.
I'm glad you brought up
I have a question for Amethyst.
Ooh,
yeah, what's up?
Can I borrow your shoes?
What size are you?
Are you wearing
Not right now. No, I am barefooted and pregnant and happy.
Sorry. I had to bring it up at least some point.
Baby. You know, I'm willing to help anyone out, but that was one I never thought I would hear.
What?
Like,
we can go there. She's not watching. She's not friends with me. She might be friends with you. There's a queen who has worked in Rehoboth with both of us, who always has a lot to say about what people. She's one of those like drag. She just calls them drags, which one is one of my pet peeves. It's like drag is not a noun. It's a
adjective.
Adjective. Thank you. It's a descriptor. She always has a lot of thoughts about what people should and should not be doing, like unsolicited thoughts. Like here we're asking and answering questions. She's one of those people who's like, drag queens ought to be doing this. Drag queens should not be doing this. It's like, baby girl, nobody asked you. Nobody asked your opinion. Baby girl, nobody needed nor desired nor required to quote
baby girl.
So I was at a venue in Rehoboth the week after Amethyst was there, and a queen that was there brought up the fact that this queen that we're speaking of was there the week before with Amethyst and drove all the way to Rehoboth Beach without any shoes and saw Amethyst getting in drag and was like, hey, can I borrow your shoes? And Amethyst was like, I'm wearing them. Like, do you like for now or for later? She's like, oh yeah, I didn't bring any shoes. So she literally wore Amethyst's, and we've all three worked at this venue. You're required to do 3 separate numbers with 3 separate costumes with no repeats. And this bitch drove a very long distance with just no footwear and wore Amethyst's shoes. They were what, black pumps? For like all 3 numbers.
Wow.
So it's like, physician, heal thyself. You got a lot of thoughts about what drags should and should not be doing. Maybe they should be bringing their own shoes to the gig. And it wasn't, I forgot. It was just, oh yeah, I didn't bring any.
You know,
like, baby girl, you passed 3 targets between there and here. So I don't know.
I get it. I get it. There's a lot of opinionated people out there about the art of drag. But the substance, I guess, is lacking. The professionalism is lacking. The respect.
And have someone more talented crawl out of her back. That's what she needs to do.
Well,
anyways, I'll step off of my soapbox now.
Thank you all for tuning in to see.
I'm trying to boost viewership.
You're doing it.
It's working. I love it.
You're doing it great. And talk about boosting viewership. For all of you out there watching, go ahead and hit that share button for me right there. It's that curved arrow. I know you're familiar with that shape. Go ahead and hit that button down there in the lower left-hand corner. Share the love, share the live. Get us out there. We're 13,000 followers strong, and we would like to double that because I'm getting older and I need someone to pay for this shit. So... get us
Speaking
out there.
Of, if you want to join our Patreon.
Absolutely. Get out there, join the Patreon, hun. You know, it's a great way to help us keep this show going. You can purchase our merch as well. Right, Jade? Is that still, yeah? At www.jadedevere.com/merch. I will go ahead and research that and see what we can do. We have all kinds of things like coffee mugs. We have hoodies. We look, what better to have on your chest than Jade and I's face? You know, what better way to wake up every morning than to sip out of Jade and I's face? You know, because it's a bit tangy, but you'll get used to
it. Yes. Thank you.
You're welcome. Brought to you by Barefoot. All right, it's okay.
I just chugged an entire Dr. Pepper.
Oh my goodness, you must be Liddy Kitty.
Woo! I'm a party.
Rare. She's not like a regular mom. She's a cool mom. Okay.
It's true.
I'd rather you.
Michelle just said Amethyst was one of the first queens to paint me. The sport was great back in the day starting out.
Oh my
I think
God.
that's a very important distinction too, because there's a difference between support and telling other people what drag is.
True.
True. There's
opinions are absolutely lovely when they're asked for. Like, it's
exactly.
It's always the ones giving unsolicited opinions that you didn't ask for their opinion in the first place.
And most of them have never done drag.
Ugh.
That's the thing. The people that don't do drag have the most opinions. Well, I saw on Drag Race. I'm like, girl, I am pre-2009. Don't come for me. My drag is not inspired by HBO or VH1 or whatever network that is supporting this bitch.
Yeah.
Like, come on now. But yeah, I guess, God, if I painted her for the first time, that would have been like 2008. Like Club Excess in New York back in the day. Bev, were you ever at Club Excess?
I used to go there.
Oh my God, that was 2007 to 2012. Like the best, worst years of my life.
I used to live in Baltimore before I moved to Philly, and that
Right.
was we would take the trip up 83 North to York.
83 North, baby. And then go to 1722 afterwards.
Yep.
Yes.
Rock,
Oh,
paper,
God.
scissors to see who was sober enough to drive home.
Baby.
Yep.
Baby.
Baby.
It was
I
always
used to
me
go
too.
to.
Oh,
I judged the last Club Excess pageant.
baby. Is that when Diamond Taylor won?
It sure is.
It had to be. I was the first and the third. It was me, Poison, LaQuisha, me, Diamond.
Yep.
I am me now because of excess. Baby, ain't that the fucking truth?
Didn't
I
it
would
I'm
give my
become
left tit to have that place back.
Wasn't it like the Velvet Rope or something?
mhm.
It was the Velvet Rope previous. That was when Chuck and Douglas and Alexis Kane were the promoters for Miss Gay Pennsylvania America.
The
Yeah, it
word
was
is
the Velvet
stage,
Rope.
so
It was
coming back to
something,
me now.
baby, baby. But those times, like that era, or not, well, era, yes, but that era
I
of
said what I said.
I said what I said. It was wrong. It was incorrect, but I said it. Yeah, that era of drag is something that I miss greatly because that's where I discovered who I was. That's where I discovered people who are my closest family right now. That's where I made the worst decisions of my life, which turned out to be such positive influences on the outcome. So, I miss those days of nightclubs. I really, really do. We wanted a seat at the table and we got it, and it came with a price. You know what I mean? I think we really cut into our slice of culture by wanting, equal rights, which we should have, and we should be able to go everywhere. But those sacred places were where we became who we are.
Mhm.
And the kids these days don't have that experience. Everything is on their thumbs. Everything's online. Everything is instant gratification. Everything is an edited Grammy award winning TV show. So, and I really wish those times would come back. I miss them greatly. I am a club kid at heart. I was a raver in the 90s. I started drag in the late 90s. Those places hold such space in my life and they are accredited to who I am today. So,
Yep.
that's all.
I
Take a drink. Take a drink, Grandma. We'll get you back to the home before they think you're dead.
Where are we? Before they think I'm dead.
Back to the home by 11. They think she's dead. It's fine.
I don't remember.
they stopped looking for her weeks ago.
I
Oh,
don't give a shit. They
I
don't care about me.
I grew up and went out. I grew up going out in Baltimore, and people when I first moved to Philly, people were like, "Oh, do you miss Baltimore?" I'm like, "Yeah, I miss Baltimore like 5 years ago when there were places to go." Because
The
now,
CVS.
what?
The
The
CVS that used to be the Hippo.
Exactly.
The CVS.
Over the summer, I did a brunch at the Manor, and I was like,
Yeah.
Central is now condos. The Hippo is now CVS. It's like,
Yeah.
it just makes me sad.
So many venues are just disappearing, and it's everywhere. And we gotta, especially with the times being so political as they are right now, we got to make sure we're not losing more ground because
Yeah.
we're losing rights.
Our culture's being erased from history.
Yeah.
I refuse. Ain't happening. Not as long as I'm living and breathing.
Yeah.
No, I'm good. I'm good.
And it's funny, so many kids do take their knowledge of drag from Drag Race, and they're incredible Drag Race performers. We just
Absolutely.
worked with Crystal Envy this week.
We did.
Who
Absolute sweetheart.
absolutely, like, no pretense, no, like, she's the star. No, she came down to our
Very
dressing room.
humble.
She was just like, who else is here? I want to meet everyone.
I was impressed that she came down prior and after the show to talk to us and connect to us and see how we were doing. That speaks volumes over somebody who made thousands of dollars more than I did. More than you did.
Can I ask a slightly shady question about Crystal Envy? Just because
Sure.
Absolutely.
she's from up near here and I've worked with her several times. How long was her mix and did she do all of it?
She did about two. She did 2 5-minute mixes and completed both of them.
She did.
She's the joke within our group here that worked with. I guess now that she's a headliner, that makes sense. But like the joke was always with her here in like Jersey and Philly was that she would turn in like a 7-minute number, and then like after 3 minutes be like, "Thank you," and just walk off stage and be done. And like, if you turn in a 7-minute number, and I'm the host of the show, baby girl, I'm putting you before me because I'm using your 7-minute number to change. You can't
I'll be
walk
in the
off
back.
stage 3 minutes into your 7-minute number and be like, "Yeah, they weren't feeling it. I'm done." It's like, go the fuck back out there and finish your fucking song.
Then I'm handing you the microphone and you can make up for the time that you didn't perform.
Other occasions, I love her. But we were like, go back out there. I don't care. I'm in a bra. Go back out there and finish your fucking number. You turned
I'm in a
in
brawl.
your number. Go do it.
You're making $7,000. Get the
Go do
fuck
it.
back on stage.
There, years ago, there was a girl who was notorious for not finishing her mixes. We were doing a show and she just mid-mix went to the bar. Just walked
have a
over to the
name.
bar. What?
I have a name.
I know, I'm sorry. But another performer comes out on stage while the mix is happening and performs the rest of the number.
Love that.
And
I
then
don't
the
blame
girl
her.
who was supposed to be doing the number gets mad and she does something that I think was supposed to be a forward roll or a cartwheel. I'm not sure which because it achieved neither task.
Either way, she broke her leg.
Mansfield tumble roll, like that.
Yep.
So,
But she got on stage again and she was like, "This is my number." And everyone's like, "Could it not be?" We're good.
You laugh. Shit.
But I can't.
there's a
I'm
girl.
so bummed she came down to the dressing room afterward. I had to be up for work at 5 in the morning, so I was like, "I'm out,
Yep.
everybody, bye." But like,
Yeah.
I got to work with actually Philly Girl last week. I got to work with Safira Cristal, who
That's
was
right.
again no pretense, no like I'm the celebrity, down to earth, had a great time. She got to cover when one of the girls in the show got injured. Probably one of the most horrifying experiences I've ever had. I'm in the
What?
back of the audience waiting for my number to start. Baby Queen is on stage and she is killing it. She's doing great. She drops into a split and her head goes down. And I'm like, that didn't look right, but she kept going. By the end of the number, she was covered in her own blood. And I was like,
Nope.
oh, I thought that was a stunt. So the rest of us couldn't go on the stage because they had to clean the stage. And I'm like, cool, I'm about to roller skate and
Roll
I
through the
need the
blood.
stage. So I made it
Roll
work.
through the blood.
But yeah, Saphira came out and she stalled for 15 minutes while they cleaned up that blood.
I mean, people love her. She's hard not to love.
Right?
She's great. She was.
Like,
She's always
Yeah.
been that way. She's always been great on a microphone. She's always been very generous. She's always been. She's gonna show up 5 minutes before the show starts, but she's gonna be ready.
bam.
You're not gonna be
Right.
on time, but she's gonna be ready.
Oh, wow.
She actually for this, she was on time and everything. It was great.
Man.
We've had, that was up at Dickinson College, and we have had some great headliners for that show. Like I've gotten to
Sure.
work with Peppermint, Shangela, Mrs. Kasha Davis, who I will always say I will work with her all day, every day.
Love her.
Um,
I'll be shady. Who's the worst drag race queen you've ever worked with? This is a safe space. No, this won't get out. It's fine.
Yikes. Worst?
does it have to be worked with, or could it be one we've seen?
Either or.
I went to see Jinx Monsoon's show when it was actually you were sitting right in front of me in the audience when
Me?
Jinx did her show. Yeah.
Okay.
I saw a photo of the audience and I'm like, there's me and my husband. And that's Bev sitting right in front of me.
At Voyeur?
Yeah.
Oh wow, that was a while ago.
That show that started 2.5 hours late. We were sitting there and we were like, The show was supposed to start by now. What the hell is going on? And
I
she did a
found my
meet and greet
answer.
beforehand. And that's the best I got. Everybody else I've worked with has been really nice.
I found my answer.
Yeah.
Go.
So I've worked with a good handful of them. Some of them were jet lagged and tired, which I took into consideration. They still went out there and did their thing. But the worst drag race queen that I've experienced firsthand, physical, like in front of and in presence of, was RuPaul. When she came to Club Excess in 2009 for the Black and White Party. Now, mind you, this was pre-Drag Race.
Yeah.
But she showed up, her limousine pulled up right outside of the stage door. She walked in, did a quarter of her set, got back in her car, and left. So, mind you, I don't think she had any body on at all. She had this white afro wig on. Yeah. So, love you, Rue, but that left a terrible impression. Book me for season 18. Thanks so much.
Wow.
I'll tell mine now.
Nice.
I jokingly end most of my shows with saying, if you had fun tonight, my name is Bev. If you thought I was terrible, my name is Roxy Andrews. Fuck her. She's terrible, and I'm glad she lost. Bye. I worked with Roxy on 2 separate occasions. She was rude, dismissive, not just to everyone else in the show, but the audience as well.
I've heard that.
And yeah, she's the worst person I've ever worked with and this was after. So when I was doing Comedy Queen, I got booked. One of the times I was down in Florida to do a show at her home bar, at the time Southern Nights, Tampa. And it was literally me, her, and another queen named Jade, which is a terrible drag name, by the way.
Accurate.
And she didn't acknowledge my presence. The entire 3 people in a dressing room, and I was invisible. She said hi to me through the mirror as she was curling her hair and didn't say anything to me the rest of the night. And I'm just like, the other girl, lovely. Where are you from? I love your outfit. Blah, 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 blah. She also started the show, and she was doing, I'll remember it as long as I'm alive. She was doing Since You've Been Gone by Kelly Clarkson. And they had to start her music over 5 times because she refused. She didn't like the applause that she got when they said her name. So she's just like, I'm not going out there to that. And Jade's like, girl, your number's on. She's like, I'm not going out there to that. So she had to be like, all right, y'all, you can do better than that. She's your hometown hero. Make some noise one more time. Make her feel welcome. Make some noise. And she finally went out after the 5th time and did 3 minutes of Kelly Clarkson. So 6 months later, I get booked to do a college show at the University of Delaware. Find out she's the headliner. She notoriously, if you've ever worked with, have either of you worked with her?
Sort of.
In her own separate dressing room that was completely away from everyone else. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So she needs her own dressing room. She does not interact with anyone else in the show. She keeps at least the one that I did, she kept her door closed. So she finally came out for curtain call at the end, and we're all lined up. And I was 2 people behind her. She's got the giant visor sunglasses on. She goes, how do I know you? And I said, I did Southern Nights in Tampa with you last month. She's like, oh, right. And then turned around, didn't say another word the rest of the night. So we all go out. It's me and 5 local queens and her. And we go out, we do our little curtain call, and we're supposed to do photos at the end. The poor little lesbian girl who's the student liaison, who's telling us where we're going to go stand to take photos with all the students, is like, Bev, you and so-and-so will be over here, blah, 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 blah. And Roxy, you'll be on stage. And Roxy's like, photos? I do photos before the show. I don't do photos after the show. And the girl's like, well, you signed, like we do the photos after the show. That was what we sent you. She's like, I do meet and greets before the show. And she's like, okay. So Roxy grabbed the microphone from her. She's like, I'll do 10 minutes of photos on stage, but your flashes have to be on, and I'm only doing groups, no selfies. It was like,
wow.
You are literally, again, making like probably 20 times that the rest of us are making to be there. And you're just showing this ass in front of all these college
That's
students.
terrible.
So,
Put her back on the bus stop.
like, I'm not going to take her talent away from her, but like, you literally.
No.
We all do the same thing.
Yeah.
Like,
exactly.
Not all of us are lucky
Exactly.
enough to be chosen by a bunch of producers who are fabricating drama.
Exactly. We do the exact same thing. And oftentimes I have brought a higher caliber of drag than the bitch making $9,000 to show up for 3 minutes.
Wearing a bust down wig because it's.
Said what I said. Wearing no body, not a stone to be found. The flat ass wig you could have got from down the street at the beauty supply.
Call
Like,
me
go
out
by.
in front of everybody. How dare you?
Well, you need to upgrade your shit.
I really do.
No, but like seriously, like it's frustrating. I was on Captain Kangaroo when I was 4 years old. You don't see me collecting checks like that, do you? You're welcome,
I was in
Bev.
3 episodes of I didn't know I was pregnant. So
See,
That.
damn. Best believe I'll be on the news later tonight if that's what it takes.
a booking's a booking.
A book at $20 is $20.
If the
You know
check
what I mean?
clears.
But at the end of the day, like I applaud their success. Absolutely. I applaud their success for the genre of the community in which we represent. Absolutely. 110%. But don't be a fucking cunt. Like you ain't nobody.
We just got a wonderful chance. Amethyst and I just went to see Drag the Musical in New York.
Yeah. That's so good.
Was it fun?
It was so, and we
Yes.
stayed at the stage door. Everyone was so
Yes.
gracious and so polite. Alaska is a queen that has not forgotten where she comes from.
Oh yeah.
Right.
I believe that.
Like,
Yeah, I expected her to be standoffish, but she was so polite. She stood there with us for 10 minutes talking. It was so nice. Jan was very polite as well. Who else was it? Jax, Jujubee. You know, I'm a fan of like season 6 and prior. After that, I could give a damn. But the first 6 seasons, love them. So meeting Jujubee was a delight. Absolute delight.
Who else was there? Lux Noir London. Also, sweetheart.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Yeah, it was wonderful. And who played Mark in Rent? I'm so sorry, I'm a bad gay. Oh my God. That was just like a gay fantasy come to life that I didn't even realize I knew I needed. Like to hear that voice and to see it on stage, I was like, the flashbacks of memories of listening to Rent growing up as a queer kid. Like it was. He
came on stage. I had one song, Glory, stuck in my head. I was good.
Right. Like I didn't realize what I was witnessing. And I appreciated that because I'm not a Broadway queen. I'm not. I have, found my appreciation for things that fit, but I'm not a Broadway queen. But to see that actor and knowing the history and the volume and the level of impact that Rent has had on the community in which I'm a part of, it was really, really, really cool. I think I was most starstruck to see him over anybody else.
Yeah.
I love that.
I loved, like, I know we talked about the show last time a little bit, but I loved how diverse that cast was because there was a cis woman doing drag in the show. There was a bearded queen in the show.
Hilarious.
It was amazing.
It was
I ended
really
up downloading the album, and the album is fascinating because it's not a cast album. It's a studio album.
Yeah, it's like the concept recording, I think, that they did that was like kind of like an earlier version of it.
And it's so cute. Like some of the songs on the album are not in the show. And I'm bummed that they're not in the show.
Yeah. It was good.
There's one song, Peppermint sings it on the album, and I think I have to look up what the name of it is. But it's literally about growing up a different kind of girl. and the song just hits really hard because it's where is it? It's
Yeah,
just
there's like a whole coming of age story involved, and someone discovering their flair and their love for sparkly things, at a young age, and it was good. It was very, 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 very good.
yeah.
Very good.
It's called
Yeah.
Girls Like Us,
Right.
and it's very much from the point of view of a trans woman.
Hmm.
Michelle just said Jara Sophia was fun to work with over at Lux. She
Yes,
is,
across the way from XS.
yep. That was a gay bar. That bathroom was clean. So I didn't understand. Like,
I
I did a
didn't
couple gigs
understand.
there and I walked in the bathroom and I was like, has this ever been used? What's going on?
That
Are we sure this is a gay bar?
would have been like 2013, 12,
Mhm.
13, the after XS club.
Oh, Vicky, I almost
God,
missed another question. How long have you dolls been on? I was waiting. I can't believe I'm just now seeing you dolls.
it's been
We have been
5
doing the show
years.
since 2020.
5 years. She called me in October of 2020. I was in Williamsport at
In
Cassie's house.
84 years, and she can
It's been
still
84
smell
years.
fresh
Yes,
paint. The China.
4 hours later.
it
Yes.
feels that way sometimes.
It's the only reason I got Instagram. Like, seriously, I was so against it. I was like, I don't have time for another social media platform. Like, I'm not on TikTok or any of that. Snapchat, fuck all that.
Oh, you
Don't
mean
have
this
time.
evening? We're on at 8:30 Eastern Standard Time every other Wednesday.
Oh, yes, that's nice.
Put it on
Yeah.
your calendar, Vicky. Set a
Yep,
reminder.
exactly.
I feel like Alice on the Brady Bunch. She's like,
Pretty much.
It
I
took
have
us.
looked the wrong way so often. I'm always like, hey, Jade. And she's like, I'm over here. I'm
I'm
like,
over
oh,
here,
okay.
dumbass.
Because right now on my screen, I'm looking at her, but technology. Sorry, I'm old. She's older than I am. It's fine. I'm older than she is. It's fine.
we're aware.
But you're not.
Yes, I am.
What?
When are you in Rehoboth
Emotionally.
again? When are you at the Blue Moon?
I am in Rehoboth on Easter weekend, the 18th.
That's right. You did say that. You
Yeah.
did say that. Oh, speaking of Rehoboth, the most expensive queen down there, Magnolia Applebottom, has just tuned in.
Has she?
What?
She paid her electric bill this month. That's good.
Honey, her electric is always paid for, hon.
You never know.
Baby.
Know what
I
she's
love you, Mags.
on.
I had so many fun gigs with her at Freddy's this year, and she got to see me drink after being on new medications, and she got to watch me get drunk like that and go, uh-oh.
Oh, oopsie poopsies.
I had this much of my drink, and I was like, I don't drink when I do gigs, but I needed, oh God. It
Oh,
was
God.
bad. I sobered up very quickly, though. Thank God.
You did great.
I try.
She's
You did
okay.
great.
I like her a little bit.
She's
Yeah.
good.
She's
She's a
all
good
right.
girl. She's a good girl.
Who else haven't we talked smack about yet?
It's hard
Who
to
do we
narrow
have
down,
material
really.
to talk about?
Oh, God.
We do have a lot of material.
I'm out of wine, so
Oh, no.
I know. The
I have a
champagne is burnt.
question. What is a trend in the queer community you would like to see end?
oh God.
And I thought you were going the other direction with that.
I don't want to go first.
The trend in the queer community that I would like to see end. I think the obvious one is just the over judgmental attitudes that people have. That's never going to change. We're queer. But just the judgmental attitude of the different genres that are within our rainbow umbrella. That's never going to end. But there's space for everybody. I think there's an appreciation for all things that are LGBTQIA plus affiliated. But there's a lot of hatred within our own community. So it's not a trend. Unfortunately, it's just the way it is. But yeah, it takes 2 seconds to build somebody up. It takes 2 seconds to smile at somebody. It's especially now in our political climate, like, and I hate to say that because I think we're always repeating that in history. Like we're always here we are again, trying to lift people up and fight for our rights and yada yada yada. But there's so much hatred within our community. Um, and I think that would be a trend to focus on and just be more accepting of each other as we are. Because if we don't, no one else is taking us seriously either. So,
Yeah.
it's not a trend, but it's just the way it is.
Got a Miss fucking America, Miss Congeniality pageant answer.
Mm-hmm.
And world peace.
World peace and puppies, April 15th.
I do think that's right, though. Like, I was talking with someone about that tonight, and we were talking about, like, the drag community and, like, the bear community not always getting along, and the bears not getting along with other communities, and, like, the leather scene being one thing that doesn't like this. And I'm like, can't we all just coexist? Can't we all just hang out and have a good time?
We have to celebrate each other. We really do.
Mm-hmm.
We
That's kind
really,
of
really
why
do.
that was part of the reason I wanted to do the bear pride thing tonight. I was like,
I love that.
I'm not
I
a bear,
absolutely love
but
that.
they have been so welcoming of me lately that I'm like, you know what?
I love
Solidarity.
that.
I want to rhinestone this thing.
You told me about that outfit and I couldn't picture it, but now that I see it, I'm like, I absolutely love that. That's fantastic.
It's ridiculous and I love it.
Don't go that
Great.
far. It's fine.
It's fine.
Don't lie to her.
It's acceptable.
Stunning, iconic.
It's definitely on my body right now.
She's what's her face, Evangelista, all that shit.
Beautiful.
Bev, what was one thing tonight you wanted to talk about that we didn't cover yet?
Bye bye, Birdie.
God. Oh, that's why we were going to talk about that. We can talk about that, but I don't want to take up the last 10 minutes of your thing.
We go over. It's not the end of the world.
Yeah.
I mean, you had asked. I didn't necessarily want to talk about it, but you had asked earlier about there was a producer here in Philly that a few years ago that, long story short, scammed a bunch of venues, took out a lot of loans, hired a bunch of queens, didn't pay them, and went off to Mexico to hide out for a while, named John Bird. And he recently was arrested in Florida for several counts that include fraudulent, trying to take out car loans with other people's names and information, leases, credit cards. It's like 7 or 8 different identity theft and fraud counts. So he was in jail for a while. He was released to a rehab facility with an ankle monitor, but apparently he did something to violate that, because now there's a warrant out for his arrest again.
Wow.
And all of us here in Philly are kind of like, and I want to do like a true crime podcast that breaks everything down, because I was friends with him before he became an event producer, but he also did a bunch of shady shit. Like, I attended his wedding at Disney World that almost didn't happen because he didn't pay for half of it, and they tried to shut that down.
Oh my!
Wow.
It's a good thing this glass is empty, hon. My cup runneth over. Oh.
It's been a long time coming. So, like, what's that meme or that like video where it's like, God's timing is always right, and it's like that like robotic voice or whatever. It's like, God's timing is always right. Like In the words of the immortal prophet Jojo Siwa, karma's a bitch. You should have known better.
Her holiness.
Karma's a bitch. Yeah, so we're all watching that play out. It was actually Magnolia and our friend Itai. They were down in Florida and heard from people that he'd been, because he was hiding out in Florida.
Yeah.
And he'd been arrested recently, and they sent me the mugshot, and I sent that shit out like as fast as my little fingers would allow me to, and yeah, couldn't have happened to a nicer person. We've had a lot of Joanne the Scammers here in Philly. He's just one of several many that we've had over the years.
Joanna Scammers.
Yep.
I love that.
I think it's funny that the non-drag performers are the ones giving drag a bad name.
Always.
Well, one of them was a drag performer.
Well, yeah.
Who was on television that I've talked about previously earlier, but she no longer does drag. So it's fine.
Yes.
Yeah. But yeah, no, I just don't understand. I have produced my own show for 12 years now, and I don't know why it's so hard to just pay people what you said you're going to pay them and maintain good working relationships with, I don't know.
Yeah.
Doesn't seem like a difficult concept for me, but when you're trying to make it seem like you're big ballin' and you've got all this money and you can't, I'm getting PayPals from your mom so that your bills go through,
right?
Because I'm going to get paid. So.
Exactly. It's just disrespectful, especially when it involves, the TV girls, and they get such a bigger paycheck, than we do. It's like, where was this money when you were booking me? It's, I don't know. Sure, you have to be a certain caliber of entertainer. Absolutely. But, to see these girls just walk in and make several $1,000s and, we're handed chump change.
Well, that's
know.
Get it while you can, because people. I haven't auditioned for Drag Race since I think season 12 or 13, but especially like seeing Ariel's trajectory post Drag Race, it's like she's back to doing the same stuff. Most of them, for every Trixie Mattel and Katya and Alaska, there's 500 other girls that are back to doing the exact same thing that they were doing beforehand. And I have this wig because I have worked with James Mansfield before, and we've maintained a friendship, and she's had kind of a renaissance more recently. But for a long time, she was the joke. She was the girl that went home first on her season, and they made her look like an idiot for the episodes that she was on. So you put your entire career in the hands of people making a TV show. It's like, I'd rather just keep doing my thing, make the money that I need, what I do. Like, they may have like a 9-month window where they're making $5-6 grand, but there's 10 other girls who are about to come on in 6 months, and you're gonna go back to doing the same $100, $75 gigs that the rest of us are doing.
Yeah, I can make myself look like a fool just fine on my own.
Literally, I don't need to destroy my career for a TV show. I'm good. I can do that.
Exactly. If I've always said that if this is my peak, then I'm happy. I'm happy. I got here of my own accord, and it's
having me on your show. This is it. This is your peak.
This is it. I have made it officially.
It's all downhill from here. Please leave me all of your shoes.
Absolutely. You know it.
I'd ask you to leave me that Fashion Nova dress, but I believe that I have the same one, so I don't.
You probably do. We all share the same things.
We do. That blue velvet dress with stones all over it and the dangly bits. I got it in blue and chartreuse.
Stop looking at my closet. Don't look.
Well, everybody, we have reached the end of our evening for this evening. It was so fun. It was great to have such a frank and blunt conversation this evening, and I appreciated that. So I want to give everybody a chance to say goodnight to all of our viewers, starting with Amethyst Diamond.
Absolutely. Everybody out there watching and loving and sharing and subscribing, thank you so much for keeping us alive now for 5 years running strong. We are here for you. This is kind of group therapy for all of us. Really, we are out here just doing the good work, and we want you to have the right information, and we want you to have a good time and know that you matter and that you are valid. We love you. If no one told you yet today, we love you. And thank you so much for having us. Bev, it's finally so good to have you here on Inside the Drag Closet after our 5 years in the business. You are a queen of your own craft and you stand on your own and just keep doing what you do because you're doing the right thing. I'm happy to know you. I'm happy that you involve me in your events and happy to see you occasionally down at the Blue Moon in Rehoboth. I look forward to seeing you next time. My sister Jade, another one in the books. So let's just keep doing our thing. And summer is almost here. So make sure you get your bodies right. Wash your ass, wash your hands. And I love you. And we'll see you next Wednesday on Inside the Drag Closet. So all yours, my love.
Bev, anything to say to the viewers this evening?
Thank you, ladies, for having me. It's been a hoot. As I said earlier, you can follow me at It's Bev Bitch on all socials. Come out and see a show. I always say when I end my shows, if the only drag queens you know are the ones from Drag Race, you're not a fan of drag, you're just a fan of a TV show. So go out and support all your local entertainers wherever they may be. You don't have to give dollars, just give a smile. And we, thank you, ladies, so much for allowing me to come on. I tapped Amethyst's shoulder like, hey, bitch, let me on your show. So I was glad we could make this work, and it's been fun. And if I said anything incriminating,
you're welcome.
It's fine.
Fuck them.
Fuck them right in the ear so they can hear you coming.
Right.
Ladies, it has been an absolute joy this evening. Bev, I'm so glad we got to sit down and actually chat and have a good time. I hope we get to work together sometime soon.
Yes, you too.
Yes, please.
It has been way too long. And thank you for your bluntness and your honesty this evening. It was very like every once in a while we get so lovey-dovey we forget to talk about the real shit, and I loved that this evening.
Yeah. Yeah.
Amethyst, my sister, I always enjoy doing this with you. I am super happy. We have a fabulous episode planned for next week. Next Wednesday, we're going to be having a cosplay evening with the queen of cosplay herself. Karma Sutra will be joining us. It's going to be a very fun evening.
Oh my God.
I couldn't find any pictures of me as a Marvel character, and I don't understand how that happened.
Amethyst, okay. I meant to tell you, that storm look turned out so fucking good. It's so good.
Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I grew up loving her. She was love at first sight for me. Okay. I have waited 25 years to bring that to life, and thankful to Integration for the hair, to a Mishka Denial for the costume, to Jeff Bezos for the rest of it. But yes, baby, that was a dream come true. Dream come true. Thank you. Thank you, thank you.
And speaking of which, everybody, make your dreams come true this week.
That's right.
And that's all we got. Have a good night, everyone.
Thank you for joining us on Inside the Drag Closet.